Alright lads, so in case you aren't already aware, in less than 24 hours time, we are going to be getting our next end of month banner announcement. And with any new banner announcement, we also do get news of the next attribute tree grounds, which does include the new characters as bonuses. Well, it seems like today, the news of the next event, attribute tree grounds, was actually posted a day earlier, now giving us pretty much confirmation in a way on what the next banner is going to be. We don't 200% know who the characters are going to be, but it does give us information regarding their affiliation, how many characters are going to be in the banner, the type of banner it's going to be, and also the filler pool, surprisingly. So first up, with that said, due to the special rules here, the killer effect times 3, the Quincy affiliation damage times 2, and the resurrected character damage times 3, the one you want to look at here is the Quincy affiliation damage. This pretty much confirms that at least one, if not both characters in this upcoming banner are going to be Quincy affiliation. I could show past examples, but just take my word on it, right? The special rules here always give an affiliation bonus to some character in that banner. This doesn't technically confirm that both characters are Quincy affiliation, but it does mean at the bare minimum, one character in this banner will be a Quincy, just strictly based off this special rule right here. Because again, the idea is that you want to use the new character in this particular quest. Second, if we go ahead and scroll down right now, unfortunate news, to be fair, is that the Wave Plus 3 bonus characters does include the 2 characters that came out in our most recent mid-month, and now, as you can see here, based on the 2 icons that are currently not loading into the game because the characters' data aren't put into the game just yet, it does mean that the next banner is going to be another 2-character banner. Like always, when it comes to any end of month banner, I always prefer it to be 3 characters. Sometimes, though, it's a rarity, but maybe it's been a bit too common this year that it is going to be 2 characters. Hopefully, at the bare minimum, both characters can be good here. And maybe the character choicing, based on who it could potentially be, it just makes sense being a 2-character banner. We kind of saw that last month with Ichigo vs Uryu. I guess they could have added a 3rd character into the banner, but no one would have made sense. But then again, that wouldn't be the first time they add a 3rd character into the banner, even if that 3rd character's inclusion technically doesn't make sense, or it's just super random. So I'm not the biggest fan or the idea of another 2-character end of month. Hopefully we don't see too many of those in the year 2026, but scrolling down, what you're going to see here is the +1 wave bonuses. Now what this does mean is 2 things. One, this upcoming end of month is likely now to be another 1000-year Blood War banner. I mean, that should be a given since we are seeing nothing but 1000-year Blood War characters here. I guess there's a very small possibility it could be a seasonal Blood War banner with still normal Blood War fillers, but if you aren't already aware, the +1 wave bonuses are always the characters that are featured in that particular banner. Because again, the idea is that you summon on the end of month or mid-month banner, and then with that, you have plenty of opportunities to get bonus characters to then take into the attribute tree grounds. So what we are seeing here is, one, a 2-character end of month, but also we can already see the fillers. And I'm not gonna lie, this filler pool lineup is absolutely insane for a potential end of month banner. A banner that technically isn't supposed to be anything special. It's not Golden Week, it's not end of year, it's not anniversary. But what we are seeing in particular is apparently Uryu, the 2nd part anniversary character, the Brave Battle character at that, still someone that is really good, obviously, is surprisingly going to be a filler. And it's kind of like too good to be true right now. Part of me is thinking, damn, maybe this is gonna be the one exception to the rule where a bonus character isn't someone featured on the end of the month, but as of right now, we are going by, you know, past attribute tree grounds. This would imply, before we see the banner tomorrow, that Uryu is going to be a filler character. And again, that's crazy because this character only came out like 8 months ago. The bare minimum before we start seeing end of month anniversary characters as fillers is always the next year. We technically shouldn't have seen this character as a filler until the 11th anniversary. So really cool in my opinion to see this character as a filler, and even though it's a 2-character banner, technically it makes up for it a little bit. Not entirely, but there's still potentially 3 really good characters to summon form. Alongside that, you are getting Toshiro and also Rangiku. This is also the first time they are fillers, so again, it's kind of crazy to see, you know, these characters appear as the first time as filler characters alongside a character that came out like 4 months after them. Now, personally, I'm missing both of those characters, so this is giving me more reason right now to summon on the end of month banner. Shinji, at the same time, is now officially a year old, so it does make sense for him to be a filler. This is also, I believe, his first time. And then we are also seeing Ichigo return too, a character I would love to get dupes of, so I'm already liking this banner. Before even seeing what the new characters are going to offer, the filler pool looks to be one of the better ones that we have seen thus far. with potentially 7 really good characters to get, and even the other characters aren't too bad. Mask isn't too bad, Soifun is still decent, Shinji and Misaki are kind of and then Ishin is also still really good. So I'm actually really liking this filler pool. And again, depending on how the 2 characters are going to perform, I might have to do some summons. As of right now though, I plan to at least do 10 steps, because for me the value is definitely there. Now, in regards to what the characters can potentially be in terms of what they are going to offer, and also who it might potentially be, we are going to talk about some potential leaked information, more so rumors that is likely to be true. So if you don't want to know what the potential character will be for this upcoming end of month, I probably wouldn't recommend watching past this point. While what I'm going to say is not guaranteed, it's something that we have heard over the last month or two. And to be fair, the characters that we are about to get, even if they weren't rumored or leaked to be coming to the game, it's only a matter of time. So, firstly, let's talk about the characters. So again, based on the rules themselves, before even knowing a potential leak, right, we are getting a new Quincy character. Last month, we did get Ichigo vs Uryu. We are currently getting Season 3 of Blood War characters, so it does really narrow down the possibilities of characters that we are going to get, but apparently, based on rumors, at least as of right now, if it isn't this end of month, it could be next end of month, we finally are potentially getting a new Jugram. So, this character hasn't had a new character whatsoever since his original one back in the 5th anniversary. So, we're coming up 5 years now, or almost 6 years, I guess. Since Jugram has received a new character, it kind of makes sense he doesn't really do anything until Season 3, and even then, he didn't really do much until the final season. But regardless, he does have a fight with a certain someone, and with us currently getting core 3 characters, it does seem like we're potentially about to finally receive a Jugram, and with that in mind, I'm really hoping he is going to be the SP character of the banner, especially given that his only character in the game over the last 5 or so years has been the Brave Battle character. At the time, he was a really good Brave Battle character, but I'm excited to see what a potential SP Jugram could look like. Because I think at this point, he does deserve it, especially given the fact that, you know, even though he finally only did something in core 3, that technically shouldn't have stopped him from getting characters. Because we have been getting seasonal Quincy's in the past, they could have easily done a seasonal Jugram to at least scratch the itch for those fans that want a new character until now, potentially, when we finally get a core 3 version. But since we know this is a 2-character banner, if Jugram is going to be one of them, which is potentially rumored, who is the other character going to be? Well, as expected, it is going to be Bazz-B. So, very similar to last month, when we go on Ichigo vs Uryu banner, this one potentially seems to be a Bazz-B vs Jugram banner. And maybe that's why they put Uryu's Vostan ditch into the filler pool, so even though it's a 2-character banner, it made sense he's kind of like the replacement for the 3rd character. Not really, but it's just again very strange that Uryu is potentially going to be a filler pool here, despite him being a 2nd part anniversary character. Could you imagine Blood War Renji, the really good one, again, 2nd part anniversary, being a filler next month? That'd be kind of crazy. But yeah, when it comes to Bazz-B, I'm excited for his core 3 version because he does have some really good visuals. My big question now is, what is Bazz-B going to be? Because he has gotten 2 SP characters since we've been getting anime Blood War units, right? Both of them have been kind of just okay. His power one was actually pretty good. His most recent one was just a farming character, so by default, he's kind of just lackluster if you don't want farming characters. But I'm kind of hoping here that Bazz-B doesn't take the guaranteed SP character slot. In a perfect world, I want both of them to be SP characters. But chances are one of them is going to be a normal attack damage character, one is going to be a strong attack damage character, and I'm really hoping Jugram is going to be the strong attack damage character. Because with that in mind, what we do know is that it is going to be a power holo killer, which to be fair is something that we've not received since the 9th anniversary, so I guess it is overdue. But in particular, it's going to be a ranged holo killer, right? This upcoming guild quest is potentially going to have 10 extra waves, and the final boss is going to be technique. So in this case, due to the attribute advantage and more so the Toshiro and Rengiku have an attribute disadvantage, you are going to have that reason to pull for the new character over those two, which is unfortunate for them because I'm potentially going to pull them for the first time in this upcoming banner because I don't own them and I would love to use them, but if they have attribute disadvantage, I'm going to be less inclined to do that. But at the very least though, for those that do want to use Grammy, right, I mean, in a way, his stocks are going to go up given that he won't have attribute disadvantage. It's going to be technique versus technique. Unfortunately for that new character, since Grammy is another ranged holo killer, we are potentially going to see some synergy with these characters. Because remember, Grammy does give 20% strong attack damage and then 30% more damage to Quincy characters. So pretty much guaranteed this upcoming end of month unit, a ranged holo killer, is going to be a Quincy. Unless this isn't going to be the Jugram vs Bazz-B banner, it could be something else. But if it is those two characters, one of them is going to be that character, and they're going to potentially work well with Gremmy. And Gremmy himself can inflict paralysis and also drain. It's a bit annoying when he does steal the status elements when you're using them alongside another Quincy, but if that new Quincy does have Element Plus, for example, they're going to work very well together, both of them constantly inflicting status elements, Gremmy going to keep the enemies in place with his homing vortex, for example. And then that said character is potentially going to get better with Gremmy on the team. It's kind of my hope, though, that we don't see two characters of the same attribute and also killer. Again, we did see that with Toshiro and, Rangiku, right? Is that they kind of had to be used together just to be better than Gremmy. It's been a trend as of late that every end of month has the same character in the same attribute, right? We had 2 power units for last end of month. Before that, we had 2 technique. And then before that, we had 2 speed characters. Not a big fan of that, truth be told. Especially because we are still waiting for a heart strong attack damage character. But I'm hoping more so that even if they are going to be the same attribute, they are at the very least in different teams with different killer effects. Kind of similar to what we saw with Jushiro and also Aizen, Ichigo and also Uryu. Yes, they're the same attribute, but they're not being designed to be used in the same team. Because we saw that with the Burn the Witch banner with Nini and also Noelle, and that's why I completely skipped the banner. I don't like the idea of 2 character end the months, both characters being used just to make one team better. So that's pretty much the video for today. We are getting end of month announced in less than 24 hours time. To recap the video, we are guaranteed Quincy characters, just based on the special rules affiliation bonus. Right now it is rumored to be, Bazz-B versus Jugram. It does seem to be, unfortunately, a 2 character end of month banner, a blood one at that, and these should be the fillable. If there's anything right now to compliment about the banner before we do officially see it, is that it does have some pretty good fillers. Uryu being a filler for the first time so soon is great to see. Toshiro, Rangiku, and also Shinji are fillers for the first time, and the nicely good characters like Ichigo return so soon too. Overall, for me, just based on the filler pool alone, I'm definitely going to be doing some summons on this banner, and hopefully the 2 characters are good, hopefully the 2 new characters are fun, and I guess only time will tell. We'll see that in less than 24 hours time, so I'll see you then. Take care, and peace.